Behold, a slightly longer than normal Riot podcast.
Does that mean we had a good morning?
I don't know.
Or were we just talkative?
I don't know. I think we just talked a lot. That doesn't always mean that it was good.
You will have to interpret if you feel like this was a good show or not.
Yeah, that's up to you. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder,
that's
as
true.
they say. So today, I become fairly convinced that something bad could be on the horizon, and we'll find out why. We also talk about cruise options. Nikki's binging Cobra Kai.
Oh, come on. Watch your tone there.
Finger kissing.
I thought we were watching it together.
Finger kissing Japanese idols, Nintendo Switch news, Fortnite news, Elon Musk, Rambo, Starbucks, Cedar Point. I mean,
it's full of lots of stuff.
I mean, it might not be full of what you want, but there's definitely stuff here.
But it's what you're going to get.
Yeah. So you guys enjoy this podcast.
Please make sure to join us at Radio U Riot on our Facebook page. We'd like to encourage you. Don't forget to sign up for our Radio U Riot. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yesterday we did a food fight, and we should be doing a new food fight tomorrow in the next podcast, and that will be with the other new Oreo flavors, the cherry cola and the pina colada ones.
Okay.
So that should be coming up.
Anything else?
Have a wonderful day.
Whee!
Bye.
Bye.
Imagine a world where the Riot never talks and it's glorious Radio U music for hours on end. Now, imagine the opposite of that. You're already there. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
I'm a little concerned about today. And you're like, oh, Revenge of the 8th? Or some other stupid May the 5th joke, 4th joke?
Oh, you mean like if there's something attached to today? Or?
Yeah. No. Here's what concerns me is that I seem to be very preoccupied. I'm not entirely sure by what. Couple things. And it was enough. Now, think this through. It was enough that I walked out of my house with no coffee.
Uh-oh.
And came here. And I got here.
You're like, what's the big deal? That's a warning sign.
Yeah, and I got here like 40 minutes early.
Did you? You're just all out of sorts.
I know. I woke up crazy early, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just getting up. But the part where the coffee, that's the part where just something, I feel like it's a warning sign. You know, it's like, back in the day when there were no satellites, the hurricane might be coming if you... I don't know what they had, but something.
If your leg hurt.
Exactly. You know what? That's exactly it. It's Grandpa's hip.
Yes, exactly. Like, that's
Grandpa's
the hurricane
hip is acting up.
It's like you had no idea.
Storm's coming. We got to go.
Okay, so that's the warning with your coffee.
I'm like, oh, no, I forgot the coffee. Oh, we better go. That's where I'm at right now.
Why'd you forget it? You really like to drink it in the car, or at least have it there.
The storm's coming.
It's a brewing. See, little coffee stuff.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't know
it's
why.
It's a cold brew.
Something's wrong.
You could add any coffee stuff in there and it'd be funny.
Absolutely.
I am worried too.
I know, but the thing is, like, I was start out being worried for me, but what if I should be worried for us?
As for the show today, what's going to happen?
I don't know.
What's a coming?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on, guys, but I'll tell you this. Coffee. Don't worry. I did make it when I got here.
Sure.
But again, it's not about the having or the not having. It's about the forgetting and Grandpa's hip. You know what I'm saying?
No, it'd be like the coffee calf.
Yeah.
It's just like, I got a cramp in my calf. It's like, oh, then something's wrong with the coffee.
Well, here, get a massage. Not that calf, the carafe. What's wrong with you?
My cold brew's not done. I left it.
No,
These are the real problems.
I have it. Like, I have a whole thing of cold brew in my fridge right now.
Just forgot it.
All right, everybody. This might be like that moment when Pee Wee Herman was supposed to stay home and he didn't. If you get it, you get it.
Sure, the Riot could start eating healthy, or they could continue living happy, enjoyable lives. The Riot on Radio U.
Yesterday, we talked about Nikki going and spending a week at a bed and breakfast where Lizzie Borden used to live. And let's be clear, she's not...
That was Massachusetts, right?
Massachusetts, Nikki. Now, Lizzie Borden...
Never vacation there.
She was acquitted in a court of law.
Yeah, but I don't want to do any spooky stuff.
Why does it have to be spooky?
That's what they're hoping. That's what the whole thing's set up around.
The macabre.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Okay. Well, how about this one? you and I board the Odyssey. It calls at 113 ports in 59 countries, visiting every continent except Antarctica.
Oh, is it the worldwide cruise?
It'll leave Greenwich in August, and it won't return until May.
Like, bye, guys. We're not usually allowed to take such a long request of leave. Like, they might just fill our show in with something else. And I don't know if we can do the show from the boat of the Odyssey.
Nikki, I got $20 that if you took a year off, you could come back, no questions asked.
They wouldn't even welcome back. Your fob still works. It's fine.
Glad to have you, Nikki. It's great.
It's like not even a year has passed.
245 days.
How much is it?
About $100,000.
The only thing I think that'd be so cool because, I mean, imagine you're in a convenient way to see so many different parts of the world, but I don't know if I would like to be on a cruise ship for so long.
You know what?
They're not the most comfortable.
Maybe this one is. They say it's a luxury cruise line, which, to be clear, is something you can just say.
Free range and... You know, like where they're like the chickens roam around, which means they have an extra couple of inches.
Well, there's something to be said for that because you could say like, yeah, well, it's a luxury to be on this boat at all.
There's some word games going on.
There's some luxury for you.
So I'd be too afraid to just take it at its word.
Do you have to row right now? Wow, look at the luxury.
We didn't lie.
Who knew?
It works. The boat works. You're fine.
It's called, you know what? I called it the Odyssey, but maybe that's the name of the cruise because it says here that it's called the Viking Sun. 930 passengers, and it's Norwegian-owned cruise line.
And where some of the locations that it goes to in the 200 days that you're on the exquisite luxury boat?
You know what? Basically, I don't know. I don't have a list of all the places they go. But they say, let me give you a couple of things here. They call it a thinking person's cruise. There's onboard classical musicians, lectures in history and the arts, and cooking classes. The price that I quoted you includes business fare for anyone flying to London and all meals, which can be taken at a choice of 8 restaurants on board.
Is it inclusive?
It's an all-inclusive cruise.
That'd be fun. You wouldn't even know how to live when you got off the boat. You'd be forgetting to pay everywhere.
There are 2 pools you'll have access to, and they say, what with it being Norwegian, you've also got a thermal spa that includes a snow grotto.
Nice.
They say snowflakes will fall freshly through chilled air. The biggest cabin on board is the owner's suite, which I'm sorry to tell you has already been booked. That costs about $225,000 per person.
It sounds fun. Here's some of the stops it'll make as it goes through Canada and the United States, Montreal, New York City, Bermuda, Barbados, Fiji, New Zealand, Australia, China, Singapore, Sri Lanka, India, Thailand. I mean, it just stops everywhere.
Perfect.
Then you go to Spain, Portugal, go to the UK, go back there.
Well, you know what? It sounds like we just booked your vacation.
Hey, I'd go there before I went to Massachusetts for the Lizzie Borden house.
Well, to be clear,
I'd do that.
I would take a year-long cruise over a week in Massachusetts. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I think we're confident in saying that. I'd go with the cruise around the world.
When you put it that way, sure.
I think it fits our needs a little bit better for a vacation.
That's a good call, Nikki.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I have fears for our reality that it's going to explode sometime later today because if you haven't heard, Thanos from Avengers Infinity War
here it is
going to be appearing in Fortnite.
Ba-boom! Where's your sound effect on that one? This is what will be the afternoon noise that you hear later today. That's it. That's our artist rendering.
I just feel like this is the beginning of the end. This is Thanos warping reality, and pretty soon it's not going to be some of us disappearing. We're all out, dude.
So if you're like, well, if you have a meeting/class later today,
nope.
If you're not done with your things and you're like, well, I must be excused because I've got something going on later this fortnight. They don't know what it is.
So it looks like this. Fortnite you'll just go into a regular round of Fortnite, and then at some point the Infinity Gauntlet will appear on the map. The first person to the Infinity Gauntlet will transform into Thanos.
What is this, Ready Player One? The first person there?
It is. And then you'll be able to wield the gauntlet. and the power of the Infinity Stones.
Oh.
How do you take the two most popular things in the world to make them more popular?
They did it.
How long have they been working on this one?
You think? Oh.
I mean, it's not 2 weeks old. It's got to be older than that.
But I don't think it's as old as you think.
Maybe not.
I think setup-wise, this was like, yeah, let's do it.
But seriously.
We're casual.
The two most popular things right now together. That's nuts.
And I think for
in fairness,
Fortnite,
I saw a lot of people playing Fortnite waiting for Avengers to start.
I was
so
going to say that might actually, people's like current obsession might be more than Avengers at this point.
Well, that was the other question I had is what do you think is more popular, Avengers or Fortnite?
I think Fortnite now.
If I put you in a room and you had to choose between Infinity War or you had to choose to play Fortnite.
No. It's the other way. If we put you in a room and we took away one.
Which one?
Which one would you be more sad about?
I actually think people would be more willing to give up Infinity War than they would Fortnite.
I do too.
Because I've seen you guys out there in your cars playing Fortnite. What are we doing?
In your put your air quotes up, in your meeting.
Your meeting. Playing Fortnite. I see how it is.
Well, that's today if you're interested.
That is crazy. It's just to me like how does it even happen? That's like when the captain of the football team is dating the head cheerleader. It's so amazing.
That's a great example.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the Radio U app.
Nikki, did you hear about Apple?
I always feel like you're leading into a joke or something. I don't know. What did I hear about Apple?
Well, like here we are just trying to be friends. Just, starting a conversation.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I obviously have something I want to tell you,
I
but...
know. It's like, what is it? Is it good or bad?
I'm asking you first because I don't want to mansplain Apple to you.
Thank you for that.
I don't want to come down, and condescend, talking down to people and make you feel bad.
Why don't you tell me what the chatter's been, and then we'll see.
In fact, why don't you woman-splain Apple to me?
There's no need to explain Apple. No one needs it. What's the news? I don't know what the news is.
Are you sure that it's okay for me to tell you?
I am sure.
That we as two equals on this plane can have a discussion where I have information that you don't have, but I can share it in such a way that I'm enriching you and not bringing you down?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay. Well, word on the street is Apple is very close to being valued as the first ever $1 trillion company.
I thought you were going to talk about the news, how they were saying the next phone might have 3 cameras for the back-facing one. Is it the back or the forward one?
Look at this. Two equals sharing news together.
Just Apple news for everyone.
Wow, look at that right there. No, that wasn't that. But apparently Warren Buffett he bought some Apple stock and et cetera, and there's been this ongoing war between Apple, Amazon, and Google to be the first one to be valued at $1 trillion. And that'll be the first company ever valued at $1 trillion.
But Amazon's kind of behind it, they said, or
it looks like.
Or that some of the other companies that are jealous, and they also want to be valued at that much money.
They do, but they're not there yet. So they say that Apple, I don't have the exact numbers, but they say Apple is the closest. At the closing of the markets yesterday, they were valued at $903.5 billion.
So they are close.
Which was up 1%. So like they are on their way. I feel like the only thing that's holding them back is I had a friend of mine who was a huge fan of Apple, and she bought every phone as soon as it came out. And then about 2 years ago, she was like, you know what? I can just be patient and I'll wait this thing out. And I feel like the lack of her endorsement.
Are you talking about me? Am I your friend?
Are you?
It's just been 1 year.
We're equals, Nikki.
Just 1 year.
We're equals.
If you
and
think
I'm
that
talking
I've been
about
strong, it's only been 1 year because I didn't upgrade to the newer iPhones.
I mean,
that was it.
Technically, it's only been about 8 months.
I mean, I still bought
7
a new
months.
laptop. I mean, I'm still in the game. We're just not there.
I know, but the fact that my friend is not carrying the iPhone 10, is not showing that level of endorsement. I feel like that's what's holding them back.
It is. They could have more. They could have already been valued over $1 trillion.
Right, but someone...
I don't want it. I want the bigger phone. I don't care if it's the bigger screen. I would like a larger phone.
Nikki, why can't you just embrace them for who they are?
And when I was reading about, they might have the 3 cameras on the one side, and
Does that help?
It just goes back to, I feel like Apple and other companies.
Let's talk about our feelings.
They need to move their vision back over to my phone won't ever break. The glass can't shatter anymore. It can't scratch. Let's go back over to that side of the phone evolution that I feel like we shouldn't just turn our backs on.
Here's the thing, though, Nikki. If you're not going to buy
it's not destructible.
If you're not going to buy a new phone, they need your phone to break so they can fix it. That's how they get to their trillion.
I'll deal with you on this. Let's make a deal. The battery can go bad and inside can still have the slowdowns, but on the outside, the glass won't shatter.
Okay.
Can we give me that?
No, but okay.
I don't need 3 cameras. I just don't want to have a case on this thing anymore.
Wait, can you show me your phone really quick?
Why?
Just hold it up and show it to me.
Yes.
Wait, show me the back. How many cameras is that? Only 2?
Yeah.
What a piece of trash.
I know, junk,
What
right?
a piece of trash.
Junk.
I'm embarrassed that you would even hold it up and show it to me.
What do I got to do? I was
2
just trying
cameras.
to, be better at it, not spend as much money.
What? The only way you're getting to 3 cameras if you count the face-forward camera?
It's why are they even, as a company, still open?
I think you can stop talking now.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, how much would you pay for a finger kiss?
A finger kiss?
Mm-hmm.
What is a finger kiss?
Do you know what that is?
Someone kissing your finger?
Me either. I had to look it up. No. It would be someone putting a finger to their lips, but then they would come up and put the other side of their finger to your lips. So it's you're kissing, but you're not kissing.
Well, why wouldn't you just kiss? Is it you don't know the person as well?
You're paying for this finger kiss.
I don't know. I'm just very uncomfortable with it.
Because this is what is the new hotness in Japan is that they have in J-pop, Japanese pop music, which is big and runs under very different rules than we do. It's
they have a lot of groups of a lot of members,
right?
And they'll do they'll have signing events and hug events or handshake events.
Well, okay,
and so it's like service for their fans, but it walks a fine line between what we think is acceptable and sometimes not.
So here's what happens: you go to this event, and they say there's the mainstream stuff, but then they have what they call underground idols. So that's what this article is about, is how at these underground shows, they really make their money on the fact that they're willing to get way more up close and personal with their fans than what some of the larger bands are.
So say you wanted to shake someone's hand, it'd be $50, something like that. So you're saying this is a way to kiss your idol, but you're not really because it's got a finger between it?
Yeah, and you have to pay a little extra for the finger
kiss.
And here's what I love. You can't pay, you have to pay by the minute, but you...
I understand what that means.
I understand. You can't pay for a block of time. So, you pay, let's say it's $10 or $15, whatever it is.
Does it count wait time, in the line?
No.
Okay.
But that's the thing is you get your 60 seconds, then you have to go to the back of the line and come back.
Start over again?
And people do it.
Weird. I saw a documentary on it once. It's a different world.
Yeah.
It's a different fandom.
I've thought about this. I've got 2 things on this. I've been to conventions where people you have to pay for an autograph. Yeah. So it's hey, it was $100 to get into this convention, but it's $80 to get this guy's signature. I understand why these people charge for their signatures, because here's what happens. They sign something for you, it suddenly becomes worth 4 times more money. And they never see any of that money. And that's part of their livelihood. So I get it. I feel like there's an element of it that really sucks, where it's just really? You can't just for your fans take a picture with them? I get it, though. I understand that when they sign something, my toy, it's now an autographed toy, and I get more money out of it, and they don't get that. I get it.
It might not be a lot of money, but... It just
Depending
has
on what
more
it is,
value.
whatever. Okay.
That is their career.
But here's the other side of it. There's that. But I couldn't pay somebody. I couldn't pay for affection on any level. So the idea of hey, pay me and I'll be your friend.
Yeah.
Or, take that as far as you want to. But I couldn't handle that. The whole time I'd be with that person, I'd be like, "You're just here because I'm paying you. Get out."
Well,
you suck.
I think though, in the context of you're at a signing or a fan event,
Yeah,
but you're not like going shopping or hanging out with them.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, trying to put it in my context of like, you know what? I'm so tired of going to the movies by myself, so I'm going to pay $30 to have
It's
this
a
person
movie signing event.
come to the movies with me.
It makes people feel better. Yeah.
But see, that's the thing is my brain would never let me enjoy it.
Sure.
Like that thing where you're like, I feel so much better that you're here. The entire time my brain would be like, look at you. You suck paying this person to sit next to you. What are you doing? I wouldn't be able to relax and enjoy
The handshake.
I wouldn't be able to enjoy my finger kiss.
It just depends. It really depends. Different society with it.
Last question, Nikki.
Yeah.
Who would you pay to finger kiss?
Oh, I'd be too
Colin Firth. There
embarrassed.
it is. It's done.
That's fine. He's a
Is
distinguished
that the right
man.
Colin?
It's the Chris's you mean sometimes.
Oh, that's right.
Like Chris Pine
your
or
other movie
Chris
boyfriends.
Hemsworth.
Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth. Yeah,
But I still won't see Star Trek with a minute.
it's fine. Nikki's like, can I, while you're finger kissing me, what if this...
That just sounds so terrible.
What if this hand was on this bicep?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Never mind. No one's paying for that.
Having a bad day? Blame the riot. Everyone else does. And in fairness, it's probably their fault. Radio U.
To your question of the morning, we want to know the name of the YouTube Red series that is a sequel to the 1980 whatever Karate
It came
Kid show.
out last Thursday.
It did.
And that was something that was talked about over the weekend. You got Nick. He was first with your answer.
Nick, what's the answer?
The answer would be Cobra Kai.
That's it.
Did you watch it?
I did not. I saw the trailer for it, and I thought it looked super gnarly. So I wanted to get into it, but I just haven't got around to it.
Right on. Well, Nick, you have a great day. And Nikki's about to tell you which one of us have seen Cobra Kai.
All right. Have a great day, Nick. Thanks.
Thanks. You too.
Bye-bye. Why is it weird that I was the one that watched it? I thought you would, and then we could be on the same page.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it's weird because I'm the one that was like, yeah, I think I'm going to watch that. Finally, something on YouTube Red that I'm interested in, et cetera, et cetera. I did not watch it this weekend.
Not even the first one, which
not
I think
even the first episode.
I think the first and maybe the second one is free. So
yeah, the
even
first two are free on YouTube.
If you don't have YouTube Red, which is great. Like if you see it, when I first looked at the episode 1, it was like 6.6 million or something. But then when you get into the YouTube Red, they stop showing you the numbers.
Oh yeah, okay.
So you don't see like how many people are on it. But it was trending over the weekend.
Well, a lot of people watched it then at 6.6 million views. That's not the most.
This is not a spoiler, by the way, but they definitely ended at like, oh, it'll come back.
Oh, yeah, no, for
sure.
They didn't get a commitment, but it seems like they're pretty set on at least another season.
So I did watch all the Cobra Kai.
You watched all of it?
I did watch. It's like, they're like 20-something minutes.
No, what was the math we did, Nikki?
I don't want to
10 episodes at approximately 30 minutes is 300 minutes, and that's 5 hours of Cobra Kai.
I'm sure I scrubbed through some of it. It didn't seem that long. There's not a lot of depth.
You know what? Hey, wait,
to it.
stop. Just own it.
Why?
Just own it.
Now you're making me feel bad.
You didn't scrub through it. You watched it.
I watched Cobra Kai.
You watched all 10 episodes of it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I want to hug you or, karate kick you in the face so you can block it. And then you can be like, oh!
I feel like I would have been more impressed if I remembered Karate Kid stuff.
Okay.
They show you a lot of flashbacks to the movie.
So they give you the context for it.
Yes.
Okay.
But some of those parts I don't remember.
Yeah.
So I feel like, they're kind of going from that. But it was just not as well acted as I feel like.
The acting was not as good from the
main guy, the Cobra Kai and the two older gentlemen.
Johnny and Daniel.
Them,
yep.
Which is sad because I still don't remember that, even though I watched all the episodes. I feel like the acting was not as great.
Okay.
But everybody else was pretty good.
It was enough to keep you going.
No, because it was so short. 10 episodes of 30 minutes. I was like, it's fine. I'll just see this one through.
5 hours.
It's only 5 hours.
5 hours.
That's not too bad.
So what I'm saying is that it was enough
to keep me through.
To keep you interested. That's almost like watching Infinity War twice.
Yeah. I also felt like it was just writing-wise. I feel like sometimes they'll lean heavily towards a certain style of like humor or it was a little bit more, can I use the word crass? Maybe,
really?
Than it really needed to be for it.
Okay.
I felt like its target audience was younger. Okay. And I felt like, it was kind of like a bit, it was a bit much on some points of it.
Okay.
Not too humorous, though.
All right. Well,
if you're going with that style, you want to make it worth it. And I felt like they just threw it all in there. They're like, throw it in there.
Someone came in there like, look, you gotta make them laugh a little bit.
Yeah, but it wasn't really. I mean, you gotta. It's a certain style if you want to put in some of that stuff, and it felt like they just were throwing it in there.
Okay. Well, I'm still curious about it, but I haven't watched any of it yet.
You could be fine not watching it.
Oh. Well, I am fine.
I mean, like, you don't need to feel pressure to watch it. Okay, you can be just perfectly fine.
The Riot talks about wanting a day off, but when do we get a day off from them?
Whoa! You suck at this!
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Put my 5 cents in the jar, and I need to talk to Dr. Nikki.
Doctor, come on in.
Okay, so here's the thing I noticed over the weekend. I did have time to watch Cobra Kai, the YouTube Red series. But instead, I just chose not to.
Sure.
And so I wanted to. I wanted to watch it. I was interested in it, but I couldn't. Like, I just couldn't get myself to watch it. And I am finding that there is this thing where the more I'm looking forward to something or the more interested in something I am, the less I'm able to engage with it.
Sure.
It's like when I sit down to do it, it's like, no, it's too much. I can't. And I can't figure out if it's just that I'm afraid of being disappointed.
The commitment of starting the show.
Okay. Or is it the commitment of like, well, I have to watch this whole show, and when I sit down and start it, now over the next week or so, I must be able to do this.
Yeah, and it also depends on if, a lot of friends are watching it too, then you feel like you have to get it all in while you have the opportunity.
I was very interested in seeing Infinity War, but it felt like going to work when I went. I was like, I didn't want to go. Which is insane. Like, I don't understand it. I didn't want to, and I was like, bro, like, but you want to see this movie.
And you liked the movie?
Yes, I did. And it's like, come on, just go. Like, you'll have a good time. You'll enjoy it. It's like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to go. It's fine. I'll go next week. It's no big deal. And so, I mean, the first time I was supposed to go, I got sick. Was that my brain?
That was your body telling you?
Was that my body?
You weren't listening to your body.
Like, trying to get me not to go. So I went later in the weekend, but it was like I had to make myself go.
Yep.
Okay. I bought a brand new video game. I bought God of War 2 or 3 weeks ago, and getting me to play it was like I had purchased it. It was sitting there. I wanted to play it so badly. And then I was just like, no, I can't. I can't start it.
Maybe it's
I'm just not. I can't.
Maybe it's seasonal. It's from allergies. Maybe that's it.
I don't know.
Maybe that's where the attitude is coming from, and not a bad attitude. Just your feelings about it.
Oh, it's not bad, but I feel like this is. It happens. Like, the more interested I am in something, it's like I can't start.
That's why I feel like they need to start making things shorter or like a less commitment level. Like the Cobra Kai thing was 10 episodes at like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It could have been maybe 5 tops.
Well, but Nikki, you
didn't have to go a full 30. You could have like gone in between the 20-30 mark. It would have just been fine.
Okay.
So I think with movies and network shows, like, they just have to condense down. Stop trying to sell us all the ads to make things longer and just give us the actual content.
But I feel like right now we're engaging in some blame shifting. Okay.
Oh, is it not? It's not us.
I think we're pushing it off of ourselves onto the content.
No, it's not us.
Okay. Because I feel like it's me.
It's no, it is not you. Totally.
I think we got to own it. We got to step up and own this. Like, for some reason,
we're changing. We don't want to watch things we don't want to watch.
I feel like you've heard of people that can't finish things. I can't even start them. That's where I'm at.
That's the new thing.
People can't finish things. I can't start them.
He used to be that way. He used to be like, hey, I got 25% left of this book. Or,
and I can't finish it.
You got the last 40 minutes of this movie and you'd leave it there. And now you can't even start something to have that stuff left.
I can't start.
I don't know how to help then.
I can't even start.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's...
Coffee and contemplation.
And the Riot. Obviously. Radio U.
You know, you're paying for Xbox Live. You're paying for PlayStation Plus. You know who's getting a little jealous of all that money that you're just paying for whatever?
Maybe Nintendo?
Nintendo's like, hey, guys, you could pay us for, stuff.
We want a monthly amount from you each and every time.
We'll take that. So yesterday, they unveiled the details for Nintendo Switch Online. $20 a year. You'll get cloud saves. And most importantly, access to a library of classic NES games. So they're saying...
Oh, yeah.
I actually heard someone else referring to it as a Netflix for games like service. So they're not...
older Nintendo games?
Older Nintendo games. And then you also will get some added online functionality, which here's what everybody's saying. And again, this is some hot rumors for you right now. But the rumor has it that this service will launch alongside Smash Brothers for the Switch. And so we'll see, again, this is rumors, but we'll see Smash Brothers at E3, which is coming up in about a month. They'll unveil it. They'll give you a release date, and you'll also get this online service. And the hook will be the only way you're going to play online
is that you
have to get this service.
I could see that being something they would force because it's only $20 a year.
Right.
Compared to, I thought you were going to say $20 a month.
No.
And I don't feel like they can force someone into that, but the $20 a year...
Nikki, they're Nintendo. They can do whatever they want.
Well, they can try to. It doesn't mean people are going to buy it.
So you can do a try and buy kind of thing. $3.99 a month, $7.99 for 3 months, $20 for a year, or $35 for a family membership, which would enable you to buy it, and then you could use 8 different accounts. Well, you know how you have a Switch, but then you have all those different users?
Sure.
So that would give everybody on that Switch access to Nintendo Online.
I love my Switch. I don't know if I love it that much. It just depends on if I'd go back and play classic games like that.
I'm getting tired of paying for stuff like this. Like with Xbox Live. The thing that has made Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus continue to be worth it over the last year, and maybe it's been longer, but is that they do give you quote unquote free games with your service. So I've had several games that they have pushed out with Xbox Live Gold that I have actually been thrilled to get and have played. And so it hasn't been like this terrible thing, but it's crazy. I will tell you the smart play. Like for Nintendo Switch Online, whenever they launch that $20 a year, you're kind of stuck. But if you can get yourself in the loop of getting Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus for either Christmas or buying it for yourself at Black Friday, you can usually pick it up for $30, $35. And I don't know what that will mean for Nintendo Switch Online. Probably no discounts. Can you ever find a discount on a Nintendo product ever? No.
Never.
Toys R Us is going out of business, and they're like, all right, here's 10 cents off these Nintendo games. They're on clearance. It's just the way they roll. So that's the word. And I also... Okay, you know what? It's going to launch with 20 games. I was going to say there's no list, but as soon as I said that, I found it. So on this, let's make sure that I got this right. The collection will include 20 games with more added on a regular basis. Balloon Fight, Dr. Mario, Super Mario Bros. 3, Donkey Kong, Ice Climbers, Zelda, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers Tennis, and 10 other games that haven't been announced.
Okay, well, that might be... The answer to that, I wouldn't pay for that.
It's still not enough.
No, they're also saying, and I didn't recall if you brought this up, but people were wondering that if Virtual Console was coming back.
And it's not.
It's not. So.
This will be the only way, air quotes, we'll see, that you'll be able to play classic Nintendo games on your Switch. So sign up, $20 a year. The savings.
Yeah, but everybody asks us for that.
I know. That's my thing, is like, how many services do I have?
We don't even know anymore.
I don't. I'm just like, there's the number. Just take some of my money.
Remember when we said things couldn't get any worse? We were wrong. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Quality time is a thing, right? Where you're with someone and you're willing to shut your phone off and you're willing to close your laptop, put away your tablet, pause the Xbox, turn it off, just pause it, whatever. Like you're willing to shut everything down and give them your attention. And that's when you can really kind of soak in, what are they saying? What are they talking about? Now, if you're like me and your attention span is about 5 seconds.
Even with all this stuff shut off.
It's hard.
It doesn't mean he's going to pay attention.
I can't tell you how many conversations I've had over the last week where someone is talking and I keep having to be like, bring it back, bro. Bring it back.
Does it help
Focus
if they
on them. Focus on
reiterate
them.
stuff or like say your name when talking to you?
Oh, it
or
might make
like,
it worse.
Well, I didn't know if it helps bring you back, to like kind of the conversation.
I almost want to grab people and just be like, look, bullet point it for me, okay? Just real fast. Do you have like graphics, a presentation?
Can you just email me?
You know what? Just I'll tell you what, 2 text messages max, but I'm talking the kind where you only have 144 characters.
But if you don't hear from me, then follow up with me because it means I even didn't care about that.
Oh, no, that's another problem where I'm like, look, I'm going to need you to follow up with me because even though we've had this conversation, if we don't follow up, I've already forgotten who you are.
It doesn't mean anything.
And listen, that's my fault. That's not you. It's not you. But, I was taking some time. I've talked so many times on the show about having a relationship with God. And one of the great things about that is God straight up says, if you're facing a decision, a thing, you don't know what to do, you can ask him and that he'll give you wisdom. And I love this. He says he'll give it to you without finding fault. So that means if yesterday you made some terrible choices, he's going to help you without finding fault. It means that if you have made great choices, he's still going to help you without finding fault. Like, it's okay that you're not perfect. God still wants to be involved in your life. And so I was like, God, here's a couple things that squirrel. And I had to shut everything off. I was like, phone is off, not even on airplane. I was like, off. This is off. I shut everything off. And I took 5 minutes where I was like, okay, I just got to get quiet for a little bit. I sang songs that I didn't even know I knew the lyrics to. Like, it took me forever to get my brain to just shut up long enough for me to be like, okay, I'm good. And I started talking to God about, what this stuff was. So here's what this is just like a little Obadiah challenge for you. 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes and shut everything off. And then the stuff that really starts to come out of you, the stuff that you're scared of, the stuff that you're worried about, friends that have things going on that you're thinking about, talk to God about that stuff. You don't know what to do? Ask him about that. And, you might even think, well, I don't even know God at all. Well, start a relationship with Jesus, and then you've got a jumping off point. You'll have a relationship with him. You can talk to him. It's as easy as saying, Jesus, I want that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want to have a relationship with you. And I need some wisdom. I need somebody to show me how to do this thing. Help me. And man, God absolutely will do that. Maybe not in that 5 minutes. I'm still waiting, but God's going to tell me what it is that I'm looking for. I know that.
You're listening to the worst of the riot.
Today sucks.
Radio U.
Well, Nikki, over the weekend, Cedar Point opened up.
Yeah.
Did you see all the news about it?
I did not.
Oh.
Was the new ride not ready to go?
Well, it's like we've got our new record-breaking coaster, and you're waiting in a 5-hour line.
Oh, that's the worst. 5 hours. Why is it taking so long?
And you know what? Diminishing returns. I don't know where I'm at, but I'll just tell you right now, there's nothing on earth
that's worth 5 hours.
I'm willing to wait 5 hours for. They're like, listen, it's going to be the best 2 minutes of your life.
It's really hard.
Lying.
It really depends on how hot it is outside. I mean, your temperament that day. Like, can you actually wait 5 hours for what ends up being I don't know, a minute or so long ride? It just depends on if you can do it. 5 hours is a lot.
I can't do it.
Why would that even be? I mean, 1 or 2 hours. We've been there, done that, but 5 hours.
I think the most I've ever waited was 3. And even then,
I wouldn't even think they'd have the line structure there for 5 hours worth of people to be waiting.
It's terrifying.
I mean,
the fact that the infrastructure exists for it is enough to make me not want to go at all.
A little worrisome, but is that more because I know you can usually purchase where you get the hour-long window or something, like you buy with more money a spot so that you can say, okay, I'll be here during the 3 o'clock hour. I'll wait during that. I'm wondering if some of that stuff for that infrastructure makes other people have to end up waiting longer.
So here's what happens. You're in line for 5 hours, right? And then 2 of the cars run into each other. That's when, how they have...
This is why the long face?
the train.
Is that it?
Of like, what is it, like 5-10 cars?
How do they run into each other?
Well, what ended up happening is, they're loading a car or a train, and then they have a train that's ready to pull in after that.
Sure.
The train that was ready to pull in after was like, we'll just keep going. Boom!
Ran into it?
Yeah.
And you were ready to go on that next train car.
It was your turn.
You waited the whole time.
It was your turn.
Oh, man, that's the worst.
That's a negative. You're out.
So did
that
they have
happened.
to close some of that?
How about it was closed around 1:30, and then it opened again somewhere between 8 and 9?
Why bother? Just open it the next day.
Well, it is open. I don't
Sure.
know if Cedar Point is to the place where they're open during the week or not, but, I haven't even said it. We're talking about their new roller coaster, Steel Vengeance, which they built where the Mean Streak used to be, and it is like the tallest, fastest, steepest hybrid roller coaster, which means it's wood and steel. And, if you're that interested in it, Google it, and they'll tell you all their
you'd have
accolades.
plenty of time to learn while you're waiting.
Don't you worry. Oh, gosh, that's right.
And what if they didn't have a good signal strength there, too? I'd be so mad there's nothing to do.
Sometimes you got to store some movies locally just in case.
Just in case, you got to download a few items before you go.
Of course, every freaking game on Earth, well, we got to dial back to the server so you can buy gems. So you can't play the game if you can't buy the gems.
Well, hopefully no one was waiting in those lines. But that's what you roll the dice with sometimes for these rides.
You know what? Again, I know it sounds overwhelmingly negative, but really right now, I don't think there's anything you could get me to wait 5 hours for.
What you have to do is that's like going opening weekend on a Thursday night or a Friday when if you just waited till it was almost out of theaters, so you'd wait till the end of roller coaster season, then you wouldn't have to wait at all.
Maybe that's what I'll do then.
You need to go on a non-peak day
I'm just
or
like,
month.
I mean, at that point, I hope there's a concession stand in the line because I'm going to need to eat.
You have to have a bathroom break. I don't know. I'm not emotionally able to do that.
I can't even talk about it anymore. I'm that
Is it
upset.
upsetting you?
Nikki and Obadiah. Obadiah and Nikki.
Love, hate, hate, love.
All right, everyone in, let's go.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
You okay?
I'm reading
okay.
the journal things that you sent, so
Nikki and
I was like, wow.
Nikki and I found this article. A woman had this guy, he was jailed for attempted kidnapping, and I guess he sent her his journal.
Journals and
journals.
pen and candy and a teddy bear, thinking like this would make her love him.
Right, and when you read it,
This one, like he would write, he was in the same office as her, and he would write each day like what she wore. And I got to the line of like, oh, your hair up, a dress, and then a little too much mascara, like comments and everything on appearance every day. And this was all in these journals. That is weird.
Because the one thing that women love is for someone to control them all the way down to exactly what they're wearing.
No way. And they're like, you and such
gosh.
and such were talking about the dumb show Pretty Little Liars. Like, everything. This guy wrote everything out.
I liked that one a lot because he's like, when you're with me, I'll introduce you to real television.
Weird.
And then
that
he's like,
is scary.
And you'll be able to stop working and stay home, which is what all women want. And I'm like, this guy's scaring me, and he's not even writing about me, and I'm not even a woman.
And she didn't even know about it until he mailed them, and then he tried to kidnap her, and then he got arrested.
You know what? I'm starting to think it's any wonder that any of us are just okay. Like,
if you're journaling about someone and never telling.
Well, haven't you ever, Nikki?
No, over and over and over and over again.
Right now at shop.radiou.com, we are offering the
our
brand
new Radio U journal.
Radio U
not
journal.
For this, I promise you, not for this.
But haven't you ever written in your journal like, Eric was so cute today. Dear diary, Eric was so cute today. He was wearing those one shorts that I don't really like, but that's okay.
Talking about that one show I don't care
When he
about.
marries me, he's going to wear better shorts. And last night I went to Obadiah's apartment and we watched Star Trek. I hate that show, but I did it for Eric.
No, there's a difference.
I'll tell you, starting to sound a little like a stalker here.
That is just where you're kind of going over your day. This is someone who was stalking somebody and writing nothing but them and thinking that they were together and
it's really something.
Way too much.
It's really something.
That'd be so scary to be in.
But you totally followed Eric to my apartment.
No, I watched a
And
show with you guys.
I haven't seen Eric wear board shorts in years.
Never mind.
Okay, I have a journal where I write down what Eric wears, okay?
But you can get our new journal, the Radio U journal, at shop.radiou.com. Great plug there.
Who?
Way to go. Way to go.
Who would want one? Why wouldn't you want to write it all down?
You can write normal stuff. I use mine to write notes, just like reminders, not this stuff.
Dear diary,
No,
today
no one's doing
Obadiah
that.
wore that stupid Blade Runner shirt again, and I'm so tired of his mouth.
Blade Runner, you won't stop it. And a little too much mascara.
Hey, listen, you know what, Nikki? I like it when it runs, when I cry.
I'm not,
all the time.
I don't journal about you every day. And that's where this is too much.
It's too much.
Any of that.
Every other day?
No, it's just all
Once a
wrong.
week.
That must have been horrifying for her.
Yeah. So that new RadioU journal. Shop.radiou.com. You know, all jokes aside, it really is there, and they are nice.
And it's very nice.
They are nice.
I mean, if you have class notes or something, normal stuff.
You know, it's
Man,
fine.
I feel like we've ruined it. Now I can't look at our journal without thinking that.
You know what? That's why we're a nonprofit, guys, because we couldn't make a profit if we wanted to.
The Riot used to be 3 people.
Please tell me we're not discussing video games again.
The other guy didn't make it. It's the Riot.
You know what? Nikki and I have a lot of things in common with Starbucks. Our $1 billion portfolio.
We have that.
Plus, we're going to Italy.
Ooh, I really want to go to Italy.
What do they have there? What do they have there that you couldn't get down at Little Italy?
I want to drive through Italy. I think that'd be so nice.
They've got to drive through, too.
No, not drive. I want to drive through the country of Italy, not go through, drive through.
The country of Italy. Yeah, it's on the other side of the freeway. You just go down. They don't have a drive-through, but if you drive up, they'll walk it out to you.
That's fine.
What?
That's fine. So what about Starbucks in Italy?
The tour of Italy, you can get that at Olive Garden. Bottomless pasta. What?
I would just like to travel there.
Yeah, Starbucks is going to be offering their very first store in September in Piazza Cordusio in Milan. So that's where they're at. They say that it's one of those things where, you know, espresso is something that's been served in Italy forever.
In a certain way to where I feel like Starbucks and how we do it might not be up to the, they might look down at it, but I'm sure they'll grow to love it.
They might. I'll be curious in reality to see what it is.
Or what the difference is between their espresso and their style of making things compared to our drive-through experience here, which has been kind of going downhill. It's not the same.
Are you talking about the new location? Not that we're saying where it is.
Have you noticed how it's not very good?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Every time we go through, there's just problem after problem. And you're like, all right, guys, I go back to the old one now.
They have a beautiful building. It is. I love it. I think it looks so nice.
It's on its own.
Yeah.
And we have a billion other Starbucks, like just right down the road, but they're always so crowded. And so I thought, we'll start going to this one.
Yeah.
But they have not trained them well.
Parking lot's always flooded. Then when you finally drive around the flood, you go over to the thing and they're like, yeah, we don't have that. We don't have that. Like, well, do you guys have any water? Here's a cup. Get it out of the flooded parking lot. There's your coffee. What?
Well, it's about training. So just like with this in Italy,
$5
Starbucks
for
will
that
be
empty
there.
cup. Yeah.
It's been hard.
They're going. But you know what? Maybe it'll be, you know what? Starbucks is pretty good coffee. Like, it's fine.
It's like McDonald's. It's fine. You just need to go sometimes. It's fine. No one's saying a bad thing about you if you go.
It's like Italy.
Okay.
You just need to go sometimes.
That would be wonderful.
Sometimes, I mean, you know, just like George Clooney, you spend a lot of effort, you know, a whole month working, and then you got to take 3 months and spend it on.
Oh, because they live in Lake Como. That also looks really pretty.
Yeah, I mean, they film movies there. That's a thing.
I'll put it on the list. Maybe we'll go to the first Starbucks in Milan.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Let's travel to Italy so we can go to Starbucks.
Well, sometimes you go to travel and you collect their cups, like for their cities and states.
I had a friend that did that.
So you can get one there if they make it.
Go to a new place, get a Starbucks cup from that location. Great idea.
That's how we travel.
Scoop that dirty water.
The Riot.
They hate me. They hate you. They hate us.
Why else would they make us listen to the worst of the Riot? Radio U.
Who wants to start a candy company right
that
now?
Sounds fun.
Well, Nikki, you and Elon Musk.
We have something in common then.
BFFs. Your love for space travel and candy are going to bring the two of you together.
He has so much money. It's like, what's he going to do today? They called it like a Wonka thing, a Willy Wonka.
So he tweeted that he was going to start a candy company, and then he was like, no, I'm super serious about it.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where he has enough money and he's good enough at business
Sure.
that I am sure that if he decided he wanted to start a candy company, he could start a small candy company, and whether it got big or not, he could make it successful on some level.
I bet you someone's come to him with this idea and he's going to invest in it, and that'll be his candy company.
Did you see what the speculation was? That he has kind of this competitive thing going with Warren Buffett, and Warren Buffett recently bought See's Candy. And so
now Elon Musk must buy some candy?
There's a rumor floating that he's like, yeah, or speculation, it's not a rumor, but that he's like, yeah, well, he's doing that, I'll do it.
To be in that world where you've got the money to do that.
It would be interesting to indulge your whim. Like, oh, yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I want to do that. Sure. So, I don't know. Like, what? Do you have any whims? Like, if all of a sudden I made you $1 billion business
Would I just buy something, or I don't know.
Is there an industry that you're always like, I always would have liked to have made blank?
No, I don't think so. I tend to be more on the practical side of things, so I'd be afraid once I had all that money, I'd need to take a pause and see.
Oh, but
I don't want to just invest it away.
Candy seems very practical.
I don't think it does. So many candy companies are having a hard time. Why do you think Oreo's playing this game of their spin the wheel of flavors?
Okay, you know what you just told me right there?
What?
You're the perfect person for me to hire for my candy company.
Am I?
Do you see how you just gave me a snapshot of the candy landscape?
True.
That's amazing.
Once Candy Crush came out and people were like, I'd rather play the game and not eat it, is all the trouble.
See, Nikki, I think it's all going to be about, a lot of people have abandoned, I feel like, the cross-marketing, except you like Doritos have the Avengers on it, like snooze
That's going to happen with that or soda.
All right, like, no, here's what's going to happen. My candy is going to have a code for an individualized Fortnite item that's only available through the candy.
You have to eat the candy, and it's on, like, the stick.
Yeah,
so
it's
that
buried in the chocolate.
You're getting hooked on all the stash. It's not like you're just buying it.
And so then you get the code, and it's like, oh, you just got a Fortnite hat.
Keep going
or
back.
You got, like, a whatever. And they wouldn't be crappy branded items either. It would be good stuff.
We'd start a smaller, trendy candy company that, of course, would then be bought years later, where we would make all the money, and it would be owned by someone bigger than.
That's the game. I think we got to be careful not to expand too fast.
No, well, we want to make sure someone wants to buy us for enough money.
But again, I'm thinking
Facebook.
I feel like if we would you got to put your money in like really highly specialized, whatever. So I feel like with the right marketing campaign, we could sell that candy.
So Elon Musk, if you're going to, we have some vision for some ideas.
Nikki does. I don't. I'm just talking here. Nikki immediately is like,
you get one, you get the other. We're a team here.
I feel I can help read another landscape. I'll help with the cultural landscape where I think they should go.
You got the gaming side. You got all that.
The right tie-in. I'm telling you, people sell everything for a Fortnite skin.
So we would be just tying the candy world into that.
No big deal. And, we're Elon Musk. So, like, you got a special SpaceX candy or something, just like the astronauts will eat.
Get a box of candy.
10% off a Tesla if you buy this box of candy.
The Riot's future, 2 words. Goat Farm. RadioU.
Last night I was just laying in bed like, man, you know what the world needs now? What the world needs now
nice.
Is more Rambo. Not just one sequel, but so much more.
Oh, just lovely. Did you say Rambo? Or Rainbow or Redbox?
I said Rambo. Yeah,
the Sylvester Stallone stuff?
We're working on Rambo 5.
So has there been a reboot, or has it always been Sylvester Stallone?
So it was like this. They made First Blood. Then they made... Why do I know all this?
And this is what you remember.
Why can I recount the production history of Sylvester Stallone's Rambo films?
It's fine. You got space in your brain. That's the active part of your brain.
That's the one
that's
entertainment
working. Side.
Yeah. So there was was it the 70s or 80s? I don't know, but it was like First Blood. That was the first Rambo
movie.
Then there was
Rambo.
Then there was Rambo First Blood Part 2. Now that actually is a fascinating history because like there's a bunch of filmmakers that you guys would know that have made a lot of stuff now that made that movie.
Yeah.
And there's like fighting over who the director really was, who the writer was. That might be why I know all this because I read a huge story about it.
And it stayed in your head.
Yeah. So there was that. Then they made Rambo 3,
Still with Sylvester Stallone?
Where Rambo helps the Mujahideen fight the Russians.
Of course, why not?
It's a political problem that has made it not age as well. But it's fine. And then they did...
4?
Yes, but I think that one might have just been called
Back
Rambo.
to Rambo? It's always that. Back to the bow.
Back to the bow. I want it to be that. I want it to be that. But no, like...
Rambo 4.
They did that one. And
was that 2008?
It's been a long time ago. And they keep saying they're going to make another one, but instead they went off and made...
The Expendables?
That one. I want to say the Equalizers. That's...
Totally different.
Totally different. Yeah, but the Expendables...
And Sylvester Stallone couldn't do any more? Or?
I don't know, but now they're like...
How old is he? How can he do this?
At this point, he may be a Highlander.
And by that we mean is that the
only way to kill him is to take his head off.
The non-U.S. Workout enhancements, is that it?
It could be. They call it the quickening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he is, he says, like, it's on. He's going to direct probably, but he's definitely writing it.
He's going to star in it too for the new Rambo?
Well, he's Rambo, Nikki.
Well, at this point, they got to pull, what was the other stuff? The Rocky stuff, where doesn't he need a son somewhere, and that's going to be the person who takes over the franchise?
So what you're saying is, like, this, it'll be like Creed, where he's like, okay,
yes,
all right, this is my son, Michael B. Jordan.
How about a daughter? How amazing would that be? She's really mad.
She's really angry.
There's really some issues.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that he had a daughter with a Vietnamese lady in Rambo 2?
I don't remember any of that stuff. I'm just saying we could go with that. And she's mad and she knows how to kick.
Actually, she died. So, so we'll just...
Why do you know all that stuff?
I don't know.
You really can recount all the stuff from these silly movies.
I don't know. I was raised by a television and then a tablet. And I don't mean drugs.
Just an actual tablet. Oh, fine.
You know
it's
what?
fine.
I was just going to have a little joke time, and now I'm sad we talked about this. I'm sad about it, and I'm sorry.
So Rambo 5, there's a teaser poster, and it'll be out in fall of 2019.
See, it's something else for us to live for. Something to look forward to.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
I think you're the corn on the cob.